further ado, we're about to get into the lesson.
Woo, this lesson's gonna be good.
All right. So we are talking about the name of the Most High, right? Now, you know, the Most High has a lot of different names. Well, I'm gonna say titles. Thank you. He has a lot of different titles. When we say the Most High, right? You're referring to the Most High only. You saying that this is the Most High God, and there is no other. You got me?
That's right.
Then when we say, what is another word like refer to the Most High? Yeah, you say Elohim, Ahayah, that means gods or powers, right? And a lot of people, and then when you say Yhwh, right? Some people think you can't say Yhwh, but Yhwh is just like saying Lord or Master, right? And it's in the Bible. That's H3050. So anytime you see H3050, it might say capital Lord, but behind it, it say Yhwh. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into detail why we call on Ahayah. Now this is, if you don't call on Ahayah, don't take this personal. But we going in to show you why we call on Ahayah and we don't refer to the Tetragrammaton. It's a lot of stuff that's going to come out today that you probably didn't know about. So we're going to bring it out today. All right, so the controversy between what the Most High name is because we are seeing the Tetragrammaton all through the Bible, right? And if anybody don't know what the Tetragrammaton is, the Tetragrammaton is Yhwh, which is the four-letter word, YHWH, right? Everybody with me, right? So we see this word all through the Bible when we go into the Hebrew, right? But, right, is it supposed to be there? Now we know that we had other nations have our Bible before us, right? And they have tampered with our book. You know what I'm saying? We can't get past that, right? Jesus is not supposed to be in the New Testament. I'm just letting y'all know that name is not supposed to be there, right? He was never referred to when he was walking this earth as Jesus, right? You know, and if we was going to translate his name into English, it would have been Savior, right? It wouldn't be Jesus, right? Okay, so I'm putting that out there because if they mess with his name, you don't think they're going to mess with the Most High name? Right? Now, when we get to people that say, oh man, I know Hebrew real good, man. You know, I'm tight on the Hebrew. And I'm telling you that there's no way that his name could be Ahayah. Right? So this is how they get you because they be like, we know Hebrew, profoundly, and they probably can read it thoroughly. And I don't know Hebrew thoroughly like that. And I don't really want somebody teaching me who don't really have the understanding of what his name is. Because every person that teach you, they're going to throw that curveball in there so they can try to trick your mind and say that this isn't his name. But my job today is to prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that his name is Ahayah today. Right? And I'm honored to do this. All praise to the Most High Ahayah.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to Exodus 3:1.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of the Most High, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Most High appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burned. And when the Most High saw that, he turned aside to see. The Most High called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the Most High of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High.
Okay, so now y'all got that, right? So the angel was the angel was there to interpret. An angel is a messenger, right? Okay, so the angel was there, and the angel let him know that this ain't no normal God that's speaking to you right now. This is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So let's go to verse 9.
Exodus 3, verse 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them. Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto the Most High, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?
Okay, so there we go. Moses like, well, who am I to go and do this, right? What did the angel say to him? Go ahead.
And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve the Most High upon this mountain.
Okay, so now in the Hebrew, right? And he said, Certainly I will be with you or thee, right? In the Hebrew, this is what was actually said. He said, Ahayah will be with you, right? So this is what made Moses say, wait a minute, hold up. Like, I thought I heard him say another name, right? Because the children of Israel was calling, we're going to get on that in a minute, what they was calling him. They wasn't calling him by the Tetragrammaton at this time. They wasn't calling him by Ahayah at this time, right? They called him God Almighty, and we're going to go over that scripture in a few minutes, right? So when he heard that name, this made him ask this question right here. Verse 13.
And Moses said unto the Most High, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?
Okay, so I heard people that try to come against, Ahayah, right? They sort of say that he was asking what was the angel's name, right? Now, he said, what is his name? Right. Not what is your name, right? Now, that's a big difference. Now, if he would have said, what is your name? Then he would have been asking the angel what his name was. But when he says, what is his name? He's referring to the Most High. What is the Most High's name? Who am I going to tell the children of Israel that sent him? What did he say?
The Most High said unto Moses, I am that I am.
So now remember, he never said I am that I am. Y'all know that, right? He actually said Ahayah, Ashur, Ahayah, right? Now, the translators of the word, right? Because Ahayah is such a powerful name, and it's a verb, right? A verb is action, right? A noun is a person, place, or thing, right? The Most High is action, and he creates person, places, or things. So he wouldn't have no regular name. You know what I'm saying? His name is going to be infinite. You know what I mean? Right. So when he said Ahayah, that means to exist. I will exist. He will exist. Like the beginning, the end, the definition goes on and on and on. He's everything. So when they try to figure out how to condense this one word, this definition into one word, they're just going to say, I am, because he's everything. He's the beginning, he's the end, he's you, he's me, he's the air, he's the sun, he's everything. I am, right? So now they put I am there. So when we see that word I am, I will be, anything like that, these are the translators. But remember that Ahayah is a name, right? Now Moses asked, what is his name, right? And then the angel goes in to say Ahayah, sure, Ahayah, and we still got Hebrews sitting up here like, no, man, that ain't the name. Dude, he asked what was his name. And then furthermore, what he said right after that, and he said, thus shall you say unto the children of Israel that Ahayah has sent me unto you. Right? So if Moses didn't do that, remember he said, what am I supposed to go tell the children of Israel? You know what I'm saying? If I don't go, if he didn't go back and tell them that I am, which is Ahayah, has sent me unto you, he would have been going against everything at the burning bush. Right? Now, this is where now we're going to go to verse 15, and this is where they say, okay, well look, well he said this too. Go ahead.
And the Most High said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations.
Okay, so now when you see the capital letter Lord, right, it goes into the tetragrammaton, which is YHWH. Now, when people translate this, some people say Yahweh, Yhwh, Yahweh, it's so many different ways that people pronounce this. They're not even on the same page when it comes to this pronunciation, because it's vowel points, and some people say it ain't no vowel points, and this is the correct way, this is the correct way, and they just all over the place on this one name, right? So now what we gonna keep doing, what we gonna show today, because we're gonna go into the history, and we're gonna go into manuscripts. We going in today, so it's gonna be kind of hard for people to get out of it. Now remember, when you going into the Bible, we got research, and this is what people don't want to do. And it's a lot of scholars out there too. Some Hebrews, I'll be like, man, this dude, he tight. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of brothers that I can actually say that about. And I can't believe that when you get on your knees to pray to a God, you didn't search this completely out. You know what I'm saying? Because if we going into prayer and we getting on our knees and we praying to something, we got to make sure we know we praying to, right? Okay, so let's go to Exodus 6 and 1 real quick.
Exodus chapter 6, verse 1. Then the Most High said unto Moses, now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. The Most High spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am the Most High. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of Ahayah Almighty. But by my name, Ahayah, was I not known to them.
All right, so how we were supposed to read that, it says, I appeared unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob by the name of God Almighty, right? Now, when you translate that into Hebrew, this is Elohim or Elohim, right? So it means like a great God or the ultimate God, right? Okay, and then he said, but by the name Jehovah or Ahayah, I was not known to them, right? Okay, so this is the Most High basically letting Moses know that the name that I gave you at the burning bush, nobody else knew this name. They didn't know the name Ahayah that I gave you at the burning bush, and they put Jehovah right there. But y'all know what Jehovah means, right? Okay, yeah, you know, Hova means calamity, ruin, destruction, and wickedness, right? And so when you put Jah, Jah means Lord or Master, and and in Hebrew it'd be Yah. So Yah and Jah means Lord and Master, but Hova means ruin, calamity, destruction, very wickedness. That's what it means. So when you're saying Jehovah, you're saying the Lord of wickedness, calamity, ruin, and destruction. And even if you put Yah there, it's still the same definition. Period. Right? Okay, so now, he said that they didn't know this name that I gave you at the burning bush, and that's very important. So a lot of new scholars, they try to say that that was a question mark, right? Because they know that this right here changes the whole script, and it let everybody know that they've been trying to put some trickery in the book. Like for me, I seen the Dead Sea Scrolls with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? They had the Dead Sea Scrolls right up here in UCLA probably like 2 years ago. Me, my wife, I think Shamar, a couple of people went. And I'm letting y'all know, man, they've been tampering with our stuff. Straight up. That's why they didn't want us to take no pictures. I was highly upset because these are our manuscripts, and you can see that they writing over stuff. I'm like, dude, how y'all just writing over words and stuff and putting what y'all want to put on there? And this is why they didn't want us to take no pictures. But I almost had to go to jail trying to take a picture. Because I wanted to show the children of Israel that they have been trying to trick us, right? Now we know that the books is all in their hands and they giving us what they want us to have, right? So we have to diligently search out the scriptures with history, with manuscript. We got to go in. They don't want you to know who the Most High is, right? Okay, so now let's do some investigation. Yeah. Okay, so they say a lot of people think that Ahayah ain't in the book, and I'm gonna show y'all a couple of places where it's still there, right? So let's go to Ezekiel 11 and 20. Let's read that.
Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 20. That they may walk in my statutes and keep mine ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power.
Okay, so when it says I will be their God, it really said Ahayah. Ahayah, their God. That's how you read it in the Hebrew. And it's really Ahayah with the aleph on the front of everything. So let's go to another one. Ezekiel 36 and 28.
Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 28. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God.
Here we go again. Ahayah, your God, right? He said, and they shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and you shall be my people, and Ahayah, your God. This is really Aleph, Hey, Yhwh, right here. Yeah, go ahead.
No. You asked my question.
Okay. Yeah, it's really going to be the four-letter word for Ahayah right there. Not, I know when you go to 1961, sometimes you just see Hayah, but this actually says Ahayah. Period. Let's go to Hosea 14 and 5.
Hosea chapter 14. Hosea chapter 14, verse 5. I will be as the dew unto Israel. He shall grow as the lily, and cast forth his roots as Lebanon.
Okay, so it says, when it says, I will be, it says, I, Ahayah, as the dew unto Israel. Y'all see that? Now, it's going to say Aleph. It's going to have an Aleph there and everything. It actually revealed his name right there. Right, I'm going to give y'all one more. All right, let's go to Zechariah 8 and 8.
Zechariah chapter 8, verse 8. And I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God in truth and in righteousness.
Okay, so now this is a very interesting one, right? So y'all know that Ahayah usually be on H1961, right? Now y'all see where it says, and they shall be my people? That shall be is 1961, but it don't say Ahayah, right? It just say Hayah, right? Now when it says, I, Ahayah, their God, right? Y'all see that?
Right.
So you got two 1961s, but they didn't put the shall be my people where Ahayah was, because that ain't what he was trying. The scripture said. The scripture said, I, Ahayah, their God. Y'all see that?
Right. Possess it.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So now we finna go to the New Testament, right? So we went, it's still more in the Old Testament, but I just wanted to bring that out to the people that's call themselves scholars in the Word, and I wanted to put a dagger in that where they be saying, oh man, you can only find Ahayah one time in the Bible. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm the one you want to talk to. You ain't. I'll show you several times that it's said in the book, right? And now we're going to go to the New Testament, and I'm going to show you that he was called on. All right, so 1 Corinthians 15 to 10.
1 Corinthians chapter 15. 15, right? Mm-hmm. And verse 10. But by the grace of the Most High, I am what I am. And his grace, which was bestowed upon me, was not in vain.
Okay, so now we see it says, by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace that he bestowed upon me, right? So now we go into the Greek, right? That Greek word, I am, guess what it means? Let me see if I can blow it up for you. Y'all see that?
First person, singular, present, indicative.
Now look at this word right here that I'm trying to really blow up for you.
Exist.
Exists.
Exist.
What does Ahayah mean?
Exist.
Right?
Yep.
I am mean exists in the Greek right here. Right? Now the word what? Right? Let's go there real quick. What? It says it's a pronoun who, what, who, which, what, that, one, right? So that word what can actually mean that, right? Y'all see what I'm saying?
I see what you said.
So he says, I exist. So he said Ahayah, Ashur, Ahayah. So remember, he said exist. So if we were speaking Hebrew, you would have said Ahayah, because Ahayah is exist in the Hebrew, right? So this is Paul basically saying this. He said, by the grace of Ahayah, Ashur, Ahayah, and his grace, which he bestowed upon me. Y'all see it?
Yeah.
So this was fire right here. You can't even get past this one. Somebody gonna say, no, he's talking about himself. He said, by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace, what he bestowed upon me. That don't even sound right. So it says, by the grace of the Most High, Ahayah, Ahayah, and his grace that he bestowed upon me. So he was giving the Most High the ultimate praise. Right there in the New Testament. Right? What did Christ say? He said, before I was, he said what? I am. Why do you think he said that? Come on now. Why do you think he said that? Now let's get some proof, right? Now we know that the Jewish people got our books. They only giving us what they want us to see. But by the power of the Most High, they be slipping up. And through all the lies, they're going to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? They're going to throw the truth in there for you. Okay, so here we go. We go into the Kabbalah. Here it is right here. So I just want y'all to know this is their book. Right?
Bring it out. I love it when you teach like this.
Okay, we're going to start off. Do I ain't got the other part? Okay. Yeah, I did it backwards. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what is it? Just read the highlighted on this side.
YHVH is the most important name in the Bible. This name is followed by the names AHYH, Elohim, El Shaddai, Adonai, which are also the primary subjects of Kabbalistic manipulation.
Okay, so here we go. They said that YHVH, and don't get confused when they put the V there, that's just vowel points, right? And I'm going to show you that back in the day, they didn't even have no vowel points. It was really YHWH. Like, you can't get out of this. Okay, so he said that YHWH is the most important name in the book, right? But let's go over here to this other side over here. What that say? Let's blow this up.
It says AHYH, the name revealed at the incident of the burning bush, is the name associated with Keter, the highest of the Sephirah.
Okay, so he said Ahayah was the name that was revealed at the burning bush. Right? Now remember, we were supposed to be trying to find out which name did the angel give him to tell the children of Israel that this God is going to be the one who deliver you out of Egypt. Right? So in the Kabbalah is telling you that Ahayah was that God. Do you see that? And it's the highest name on, they have like a little graph, right? And they have all these different names everywhere. But Ahayah is right at the top point of it. They know the power of Ahayah, but they won't use it. They refuse to use that name. And if you're trying to say it ain't a name, the Jewish people believe that this is a name. Right? We got Hebrew scholar. Oh man, that ain't no name. That's just a word. But then when you try to get the definition of your name, like I say, okay, what does YHWH mean? And they be like, oh, he exists. I'm like, hold up, you can't use Ahayah to get your information. Your name gotta stand on its own. And then if you're saying that he exists, I exist, or anything like that, we can call your name a verb. And this is where the confusion is coming in at, and it wrecks my brain that people don't want to just put all the stuff on the table and let's just talk it out. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just the beginning. It's about to get way worse than this. Right? So as we can see in the Kabbalah, they said that Ahayah was the name revealed at the burning bush. All right. So everybody there, right? Okay, here we go. Now here go to where that book is. Anybody see that book? Where that book is? Okay, here we go. And we gotta thank Angel. You know, he came up with a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? I put my information presentation with a lot of his information, and y'all about to see what we came up with. All right, so this is Illuminati book. This is a guy breaking down the Illuminati and all their tricks, right? Okay, so we want to go to page. Bear with me, because we got a lot of information, so I got to make sure.
We want it.
We want it all.
We want it all. Bring it out. Bring it out. TikTok.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We on page 129, and we're going to read this paragraph right.
Kabbalism. The foundation of Kabbalism is identical to Satanism, the reversal of the roles of God and Satan. It is the pursuit of hidden occult knowledge which allows one to achieve godlike abilities by calling on the so-called names of God. These are the names of fallen angels, demons, spirit guides, who are the gatekeepers to occult knowledge. Genesis, they give the books. While not all Jews actively practice Kabbalah, they all accept the highest Kabbalistic name as their God, Yhwh.
Wow.
The infamous Kabbalist and Satanist Aleister Crowley writes, there are the 72 angels. These names are derived from the great name of God. The name is Tetragrammaton.
Wow. Do y'all hear this? Y'all know who Aleister Crowley is?
The wickedest man. The wickedest man ever walked
Wait. Do y'all know who Aleister Crowley is? Who don't know who Aleister Crowley is? Raise your hand. He is the most demonic devil worshiper that you can find. He probably is Satan's son.
That's George Bush, the father of the... Yes.
Yeah, they all kind of related. And now you see who's running the country. The people of the bloodline of Aleister Crowley. And this dude is so satanic, it's unbelievable, right? And it basically said, he's talking about the Tetragrammaton, and he said the great name of God, right? But let's keep going.
Okay, the name is Tetragrammaton, commonly called Jehovah. It is the supreme Lord of the whole universe, the Book of Thoth. A number of other secret pronunciations of Yhwh are used in the occult, in addition to Yahweh and Jehovah. Of the 54 sacred names in the Jewish Kabbalah, the primary one is YHWH.
Wow.
Or have to say the name of God or blasphemy. Okay. And that's it.
Okay, so now.
Wait a minute, Malak.
Go ahead.
So for my clarity, did they just associate Jehovah with the satanic?
Yeah, Jehovah, see, the Tetragrammaton is Jehovah with a J. Right. It's the same thing. This is what I don't get. Like, if we sit up here saying that in the English it means the Lord of wickedness, but then we put, all you gotta do is put a Y on it. All right, let me give you an example. Say Jehovah, right? And then put a Y on it. Put a Y on Jehovah. Jehovah. Now remember, the V sound is just vowels because it still had a ooh, the ah, the woo, like they still, it's still the same thing, right? Now we're gonna go back in history too, before they even had vowel points, to see was this name even being used satanically. What did the Most High call the Jewish people in the Bible? Revelations 2:9.
Synagogue of Satan.
Do you really think they would be able to use the Most High name in this
Hell no.
Like they will be able to be on their name, on their knees, calling on the Most High, regardless if they put vowel points on it or not. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think that the Most High gonna be upset with them doing that? Like what is these dudes praying to me for? They the synagogues of Satan, right? So let's go to. Let's go to. Yeah, here we go, right here.
The name YHVH was injected into the text of the Old Testament.
Whoa! 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 Wait, read that again.
The name YHVH was injected into the text of the Old Testament by the Pharisees and others who practiced Babylonian Satanism.
Wow.
Did y'all hear that?
Wow.
We didn't write this.
They
telling you right there that we inserted that name
Man.
into the Old Testament so you could call on their gods.
Straight deep.
They knew the Hebrew Israelites was going to wake up sooner or later. They knew we was going to start trying to go to the Hebrew.
Bring it up. Goes to that scripture that say, I'm paraphrasing, ye not know not what ye worship, but we know what we worship. Because we didn't know that. Man, that's deep.
Like, come on, man. We bringing it out today, bro.
Bring it out.
Bring it all the way out.
We finna let you know that in the midst of a gang of lies, they're going to tell the truth.
Right.
Every time. And this is why I've been in the truth for like 15, 16. I never could get on that Tetragrammaton. And a lot of my friends use the Tetragrammaton. Like, I really didn't have too many ox that called on Ahayah. I was the only one. Just standing there. Everybody else, using the Tetragrammaton, I'll be standing there by myself. Only one calling on Ahayah.
All praises.
I refuse to use, if I had to use that, if they was like, this is it, and I'll just say the Most High, bro. Straight up. It's no way that they will be able to use that name so satanic. We ain't even got to the nitty gritty yet.
Come on.
Yo, they already confessed that Ahayah was a name at the burning bush. They already confessed that they inserted the name YHWH in the Bible.
Come on.
Right? They just told you, right? All right, so let's go to Jeremiah 8:8.
Bring it out.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 8. How do ye say, we are wise, and the law of the Lord is with us? Lo, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes is in vain.
Okay, so did not the Bible tell us that the pens of the scribes are in vain? The scribes that had the pen, it's in vain. They was going to go in and they was going to be trying to manipulate the word of the Most High. They was going to do that. They have done it.
Yeah.
We know Christ's name ain't Jesus.
Come on.
Jesus.
Read number 9. It goes right into it's going right into what you said too.
All right, read 9.
Verse 9. The wise men are ashamed. They are dismayed and taken. Lo, they have rejected the word of the Most High, and what wisdom is in them.
All right, so now let's go to, we at 130. We still in that book, Illuminati book, right? And we're going to read this paragraph right here. Let me blow it up for y'all. Matter of fact, read this one and that one.
Here we go. Everyday Jews do not know that the God of their faith is in fact Satan, hiding behind a mystical name. It is of no consequence to Satan whether he is worshipped deliberately or through subtle lies and deceptions. God's name is Ahayah.
What?
Sometimes.
Do y'all hear this?
I can't hear you.
Do y'all hear this?
I can't hear you.
Now look, now remember, this dude right here is revealing all the secrets of the Illuminati to trick you, right? they saying that the YHWH, Yhwh, was inserted in the Bible to make sure that you didn't call on who?
Ahayah!
Do y'all hear this?
That's right.
All right, read that again, Elder.
God's name is Ahayah. Sometimes transliterated Ahayah, meaning I am. This is the name given to Moses along with the law. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
All right, so now, when we was reading this, right, remember it said the Lord thy God. Remember he said Ahayah, sure Ahayah. And furthermore, he said that did they do the tetragrammaton right there, right? Now, in this, he's saying right here, he said, thus shall you say to the children of Israel, I am sent you unto you, and this is the memorial of all generations. I am the Lord your God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Right? So he said, I am Ahayah, your God. Don't have no other gods before me. So now this is just the surface. Like remember I told you they're going to slip up and they're going to tell you the truth. So just with these couple of books right now, if you was using YHWH, you're supposed to be like, whoa, what's going on here?
Right. Come on.
Now you got to be kind of shook up a little bit.
Right. Praying that they
The
go.
tetragrammaton, right? Which is YHWH. Right? Sometimes they put a V in there for vowel points. Okay, here we go. This is what it means in the pictograph, right? It means behold, behold, nail, behold, hand, right? Some people say it's behold, snare, behold, hand, right? So when you get on your knees and you pray, you behold, nail, behold, hand. Like, huh? Like, every Hebrew name means something. When we get our names, it's an expression of who we are, right? You get a name that you live by, right? You get a name that goes with your actions and your personality. You don't think the Most High gonna have a name that go like that? You think he gonna have, oh, behold, nail, behold, hand. What, huh? Okay, so now we about to get deep. The Shazu tribe.
Here we
Right?
go. Bring it out.
Okay, so now this is some history right here. Well, let me show y'all the picture first. Now this is a picture of the Shazu, right? And anybody who go back and really start studying the name, you gotta run into them. Like, it's no way that you can study the name and not run into the Shazu, right? Now, what people try to do is when they run into the Shazu, they got a choice. They're like, dang, dude, like, this is crazy. Let's make them Israelites. When we know that Shazu was Esau, and we're going to prove that. We're going to prove that. And then you still want to say they Israelites. I got something even better for you after this. And I know you don't want to say they Israelites after that. But we going to go through it, right? Okay, so the story of the Shazu. The Shazu was people that walked around with tablets of stone. While before we was in Egypt, this was before Moses was at the burning bush. Before Moses got this name, right? So all the children of Israel was supposed to be calling him El Shaddai anyway, right? The new name was at the burning bush, right? That's when the Most High said, I don't really want you to just have what was that word we used earlier? a phrase of my name or a title of my name. Like, just like my daughter, she would call me father, or she would call me dad, or a strong, some people say I'm a strong brother or this or that, but my name is Malak. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so now, here we are with the Shazu. They walking around with 2 tables of stone, and on the stone, guess what it say? YHW. They didn't have an H, but they had YHW. And this God came out of Canaan. And you can't get past this. So let's read a little bit about the Shazu, right? And let's break it down, who they were and what they was talking about. I'm going to have an elder read it from here.
The origin of the term Shazu. The Egyptians often twisted the names of people and locations.
All right, what on?
It's coming out anyway. You can't stop it. You can't stop this.
All right, hold on. Stop the press.
Right.
Oh, what's back?
It was there.
Stretch.
There it is.
All right.
All right.
All right. The origin of the term Shazu. The Egyptians often twisted the names of peoples and locations into terms that they could pronounce as we do today. For instance, the Korash designation for Edom and Moab was Ika, which appears in Egyptian text as Atika. The same thing happened with the name Shazu, which is the Egyptian designation for Esau.
The Egyptian designation for who? Esau. Okay, so Esau had the YHWH. This was their God. Esau wasn't worshiping the Most High. Esau went in to worship other gods. Right? Keep going.
According to Strong's, Esau is a derivation of the word asa, which means a primitive root to do or make in the broadest sense and widest application. There are several equivalent words for asa in Arabic. One is jaza, which means to pass, come, travel, be allowed, be possible, to work, succeed, to cross, to exceed, surpass, to let, to give up, forego, relinquish, license, to approve, confirm, sanction, suffer, tolerate, bear, leave behind, exceed, to pass, to run.
Okay, so you know what? We ain't gonna even go. We got so much stuff. I'm just gonna skip that. Okay, so let's get into some history. All right. So what book is that?
Egypt, Canaan, and Israel in ancient times.
I need that too.
Yeah, everything that we talk about, we're gonna prove it out of the history or the Bible, just straight up. Okay, so here we go. We go to page 272.
Yeah. We do study over here.
Shazu are found in Egyptian texts from the 18th dynasty through the 3rd intermediate period. They most frequently occur in generalizing toponym lists where the context helps little in pinpointing their location. But lists from Soleb and Amara, ultimately of 15th century origin, suggest that an original concentration of Shazu settlements lay in southern Transjordan in the plains of Moab and northern Edom. Here a group of 6 names is identified as in the land of Shazu, and these include Seir, i.e. Edom, Laban, Samath, Samath, clan of the Kenites, and Weber, Wadi Hassad. Elsewhere in the text of the 19th and 20th dynasties, the consistent linking of Shazu with Edom and the Arabah Timnah places the identifications on the earlier list beyond doubt. The localization of the land of the Shazu in the mountainous districts of Seir, east of the Arabah, has an interesting consequence for one name in the mentioned list from Soleb and Amara.
Okay, so jump over to this page, 273, and read.
Hey, like, before you read that, I want to say one thing. Like, that book has Moab, and that's not the Bible. They say Moab, Esau. These people know who all of these characters is in the Bible.
Yeah, they know.
They tricked us, man. They did, man. Moab, Esau, Cush, Ishmael.
And if this, here we go, and if this be the case, as it undoubtedly is, the passage constitutes a most precious indication of the whereabouts during the late 15th century BC of an enclave revering this God. And while it would be wrong to jump to the conclusion that Israel, as known from the period of the Judges or the early monarchy, was already in existence in Edom at this time, one cannot help but recall the numerous passages in later biblical tradition that depict Yahweh coming forth from Seir and originating in Edom.
Do y'all hear this? So do we want to say that the one that the Most High despised the most, right? He said, Esau, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. So we think that Esau gonna bring the name to us?
No.
That's like impossible. Don't the Bible say that the Most High only deal with the children of Israel? So he would only deal with Jacob's children.
That's right.
He wouldn't go to Esau for Esau to bring something to us, especially his name.
Come on.
Are y'all hearing me? Now these are facts that you can't run from. This is history. Right? Do you say anything else?
Says the only reasonable conclusion is that one major component in the later amalgam that constituted Israel and the one with whom the worship of Yahweh originated must be looked for among the Shazu of Edom.
Do you hear this? And the Shazu is the worship of Canaanite gods.
Point it out, librarians. Ask him. Make sure we don't miss that.
Yeah, it says here, clans of the Shazu of Edom. Seir with Shazu clans, despoiler of the land of the Shazu, plunderer of the mountain of Seir. For the Shazu in KH, okay. That's what it says.
We already got that discovered. Okay, so now look. Let's go deeper. Okay, read this, Elder. Now, this is for all of the Hebrews that they just want to be so hard-headed. And they just be like, no, man, the Shazu was Israelites, man. I'm telling you. Okay, so this is for you. Okay, read that, Elder. You might have to move it over a little bit too, like this. All right.
He hoped to obtain for the release of Joshua. He briefly told him that there was a bold adventure in prospect which he meant to dare in concert with him. The torchbearers who usually headed the procession this time were obliged to close its ranks, for the storm raging from the northeast would have blown the smoke into the people's faces. They stood on the Egyptian shore, and already the whole train had passed them, except the lepers, who, following the strangers, were the last of the whole multitude. These strangers were a motley crew, comprising Asiatics of Semitic blood, who had escaped from the bondage or severe punishments which the Egyptian law had imposed. There were traders. There were traders who expected to find among the wanderers purchasers of their wares, or Shazu shepherds, whose return was prohibited by the officials on the frontier. Ephraim had much trouble with them, for they refused to leave the firm land until the lepers had been forced to keep further away from them.
Okay, so basically, this is telling you that the Shazus was lepers.
That's what I was just going to say. They were the
So if you want to say, and we got even more than that, and the name of this book is called Joshua. It's a book called Joshua. And we got another book that say the exact thing, same thing that this one is saying, and it goes into detail about them being lepers. So now you want to say the children of Israel was white? Is that what you want to say? Just to keep the name going? You gonna fight it that hard that we gotta be white now? Man. All right, so let's keep going. Let's get in a little bit more. We're going to go to the book of Jasher right now. Jasher 60, chapter 61. All right, read that, Elder.
It went away again?
Joshua chapter 61. And verse what?
Verse 8. And amongst the servants of Angeas was a youth 15 years old, Balaam, the son of Beor, who was his name. And the youth was very wise and understood the art of witchcraft. And Angeas said unto Balaam, conjure for us, I pray thee, with the witchcraft, that we may know who will prevail in this battle to which we are now proceeding.
Okay, so this guy, which is Balaam, right? He knew what?
Witchcraft.
He knew witchcraft, right? Okay, so let's go to chapter 70 real quick.
Verse 1.
Yeah, verse 1.
And in the third year from the birth of Moses, Pharaoh was sitting at a banquet.
Yeah, blow it up more.
When Alperaneth, the queen, was sitting at his right and Bathia at his left. And the lad Moses was lying upon her bosom. And Balaam the son of Beor with his 2 sons and all the princes of the kingdom were sitting at the table in the king's presence. And the lad stretched forth his hand upon the king's head and took the crown from the king's head and placed it on his own head. And when the king and princes saw the work which the boy had done, the king and the princes were terrified, and one man to his neighbor expressed astonishment. The king said unto the princes who were before him at table, what speak you and what say you, O ye princes, in this matter? And what is to be the judgment against the boy on account of this act. And Balaam the son of Beor the magician answered before the king and princes.
Right, who answered?
The magician.
What was his name?
Balaam.
Now, you know this is the same Balaam that was in the Bible, right? And he was supposed to he was trying to curse the children of Israel. And he said, I can't curse them. Only way I can curse them is if they worship another God. You can't curse something that God has blessed. Right? So his whole mission was to do what?
Get us to worship another God.
Get us to worship another God. Right? Go ahead.
And Balaam the son of Beor the magician answered before the king and princes, and he said, Remember now, O my lord and king, the dream which thou didst dream many days since, and that which thy servant interpreted unto thee. Now therefore this is a child from the Hebrew children, in whom is the Spirit of the Most High. And let not my lord the king imagine that this youngster did this thing without knowledge. For he is a Hebrew boy, and wisdom and understanding are with him. Although he is yet a child, and with wisdom he has he, done this and chosen unto himself the kingdom of Egypt. For this is the manner of all the Hebrews to deceive kings and their nobles, to do all these things cunningly, in order to make the kings of the earth and their men tremble. Now therefore, my lord king, behold, this child has risen up in their stead in Egypt, to do according to their deeds and to the trifle which with every king, prince, and judge. If it please the king, let us now spill his blood upon the ground, lest he grow up and take away the government from thy hand, and the hope of Egypt perish after he shall have reigned. And Balaam said to the king, Let us moreover call for all the judges of Egypt and the wise men thereof, and let us know if the judgment of death is due to this boy, as thou didst say, and then we will slay him. And Pharaoh sent and called for all the wise men of Egypt, and they came before the king. And an angel of the Most High came amongst them, and he was like one of the wise men of Egypt.
Okay, so everybody knows what's going on, right? Right. Okay, I'm gonna give us a short breakdown just in case somebody lost. Moses was a baby, and he was sitting next to the king. Remember, Moses was raised by the Egyptians, right? So while he's sitting next to the king, he takes the king crown off of his head and put it on his own head. And when he does this, Balaam says, you know what? We got to kill this little boy. He ain't just do that for nothing. He telling you he going to take over Egypt and he going to run this thing. And this is what the Hebrews do. So now the king, he said, okay, before I have to kill this little boy, let me go get all the wise men to see what's going on, right?
And the king said to the wise men, Surely you have heard what this Hebrew boy who is in the house has done. And thus has Balaam judged in the matter. Now judge you also, and see what is due to the boy for the act he has committed. And the angel, who seemed like one of the wise men of Pharaoh, answered and said as follows, Before all the wise men of Egypt, and before the king and the princes, if it please the king, let the king send for men who shall bring before him an onyx stone and a coal of fire, and place them before the child. And if the child shall stretch forth his hand and take the onyx stone, then shall we know that with wisdom has the youth done all that he has done, and we must slay him. But if he stretch forth his hand upon the coal Then shall we know that it was not with knowledge that he did this thing, and he shall live. And the thing seemed good in the eyes of the king and the princes, so the king did according to the word of the angel of the Most High. And the king ordered the onyx stone and coal to be brought and placed before Moses. And they placed the boy before them. And the lad endeavored to stretch forth his hand to the onyx stone, but the angel of the Most High took his hand and placed it upon the coal. And the coal became extinguished in his hand. And he lifted it up and put it into his mouth, and burned part of his lips and part of his tongue. And he became heavy in mouth and tongue. And when the king and princes saw this, they knew that Moses had not acted with wisdom in taking off the crown from the head of the king.
All right, so everybody heard the story, right? Okay, so what ended up happening?
He became slow at times.
All right, he basically go to Exodus 32:22 too. Okay, so basically the angel said if you put this onyx stone, which was hot, in front of him, if he know not to touch it, then he know what he's doing. But if he grab it and burn himself, then he don't know what the heck he's doing. Y'all should let him live. But the angel, when they put the hot coal in front of him, he grabbed it, and not only did he burn his hand, he burned his mouth too. And remember how they were saying that Moses had a speech impairment or whatever, like he had to use Aaron to speak for him a lot of times? This is because that happened. But now, remember, who was the man behind trying to kill Moses at this time? Balaam, which knew witchcraft, right? Okay, now Balaam, he goes back and forth to Canaan, right? I got this in the book of Joshua too. He went back to Canaan. Then he came back to Egypt. Right? So now let's find out what happened right here. So let's go to Exodus 32:22.
Exodus 32, verse 22. And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people, that they are set on mischief. For they said unto me, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies, then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Most High side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, thus saith the Most High God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from the gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. And the children of Levi did according to the word of Moses. And there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men.
Woo-wee. So why did 3,000 men fall? They was doing what? They was worshiping the golden calf. Right? Where does the golden calf come from? Canaan. That is not an Egyptian god. They went to Canaan, brought it back to Egypt for us to worship. Right? So let's go deeper. Okay, here go another book. The book of God and Goddesses. So we're about to get into that one. Here we go. All right. Y'all see this? Yeah. All right. So we're going to prove that this is the Canaanite god. 118. Yeah. And all of your paragraph is highlighted.
In the view of the pictorial traditions from the late Bronze Age, the bronze figure of a bull dating to Iron Age that was found east of Dothan at an open-air shrine. Mazar may represent the weather god, Hadad Baal Yahweh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. Okay, so this calf was actually called YHWH? You can't sit, like, they just act like just because you say Yahweh, that ain't talking about the Tetragrammaton. The Tetragrammaton is Yahweh. It's all of the names that y'all want to use. So this golden calf was called YHWH according to this book. Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
The golden calf, this cow that they made gold, was called YHWH. Balaam went into Canaan, he brought Shazul back, and he made us worship the golden calf. We didn't try to worship all of the elements that the Egyptians was worshiping. The Egyptians worshiped everything, all of the plagues that the Most High had sent upon the earth. They worshiped fish, the weather, the sun, they worship all that stuff. We wasn't worshiping that when we came out. We wanted to make that golden calf, which was called YHWH. Go ahead,
And what? Wasn't they putting people to death in cows? You know, like that cow, they put the fire?
Yeah, like they had a couple of movies that came out where, now the cow worship is connected to Estar worship as well. Now Estar and Yahweh, and I think I'm gonna get into that. I think I put that in there. Estar and Yahweh supposed to be married together, right? So what they did with the golden calf, they got a big one. And what they do is they put the children inside the golden calf and they heat it up at the bottom. And then when the child is finally dead, it's gonna knock out some smoke out of the bull's nose, right? And so they know that the child is dead. And they say that's the spirit coming out. But the children of Israel used to put their children in there thinking that they was going to be a star in heaven with the queen of heaven. So every time that a kid would go in there, they'll see a new star and they'd be like, there go my child right there. So that's how they were deceived, thinking that the children was going to be with the queen of heaven and she was going to make them a star if they had to go through all of that. Now, why would our people do this? It's unbelievable. All right, so the golden calf worship, and the calf was also called YHWH, Yod Hey Wahey. I don't care what vowel points you put on it. I don't care how you pronounce it. And back then they didn't even have no vowel points. So if you think you speaking the ancient Hebrew and you still trying to use YHWH, that's what they was calling on. Because Yahweh wasn't even invented at that time. Because they didn't even have the vowel points. The masters they didn't even do their thing yet, making the vowel points. So they was actually calling on YHWH. Come on now. That's hardcore evidence right there, buddy. All right, so let's go back to Aleister Crowley. You know, we gotta go back to him, right?
Hey, it looked like he put up the pyramid sign that Jehovah.
Yeah, he a cold piece, man. He got all kind of little things that he do, but he's a demonic person, and he does a lot of demonic rituals, right? And so one of the things that he has is the Tetragrammaton, right? Now, they put the Tetragrammaton up like this, right, for a reason. All right, matter of fact, let's read this real quick.
Aleister Crowley considered the Tetragrammaton so powerful that it should never be uttered, even in thought, until perhaps with it he gives up the ghost. Crowley said, such a word should, in fact, be so potent that man cannot hear it and live. Such a word was indeed the lost tetragrammaton.
Okay, so here we go. This is his God. This is him giving reference to his own God, saying that he don't even want to, this name is so sacred to him. Now remember, he's demonic. So you know he ain't talking about the Most High, right? So he says that this name is so sacred to him, he don't even want to say his name. But they use it in seances, right? Here we go. Now this is the Tetragrammaton, right? And you can buy this right now. And nobody buy this. I'm just letting you know that this right now is you can buy this, right? The Tetragrammaton Pinnacle, right? And it's $89, right? Now look right there on the sides. I had to get some more pictures so y'all can see. That's Yhwh right there. Y'all see it? Right in the middle of that devil stuff. Y'all see that? Now you mean to tell me that y'all think that the Most High gonna allow his name to be used in demonic seance?
Associated with that?
Yeah.
Bring it out.
Okay, the star. Okay, let's talk about the Star of David. Where in the Bible do the Most High say that David had a star? But we follow, people been following the Jewish people forever. Whatever they do, you do. They don't even question it. Right? So, back in Malachi, the Most High said he was going to destroy the children of Israel for worshiping stars. He didn't want them to worship those stars. Right? And so, this star, if you look it up, it go all the way to the star of Moloch. Right? And people still to this day is using this star like it's all to the good. Oh, I'm a Hebrew, I got this star on. You know what I'm saying? Now knowing that this star can be used in witchcraft at its highest festivity. Stuff start going wrong in your house, and that's because you got the demonic star up in there. The Most High never said that we were supposed to have a star to represent him or Israel. Right? We represent the Most High. When we put our fringes on, we are his symbols, and we created in his image and his likeness. We don't have to create something with our hands and say, yeah, this represents the Most High or this represents Israel. No, we don't have to do that. But the fact is that YHWH is on a satanic pentagram.
And that sorority sign at the bottom in the middle. Don't one of those sororities use that?
Yeah, all of the black boulet. Y'all heard of the black boulet, right?
Kundalini right there.
Who know about the black boulet?
Yeah, that's Steve Harden part of that. That's the overwork gas. That's
What is it?
Masons like.
What's the black boulet?
The black Illuminati.
Black aluminum.
Yeah, are basically Masons.
Devil worshippers.
See, y'all in the right place, but y'all real high. Do you know the black boulet is sororities, fraternities, Masons, all of that, right? So when we get ready to go to college, and then they have some frat brothers come walking up and say, hey, brother, you about to be a lawyer or a doctor? Like, yeah. Okay, well, you should join our frat, right? We worship the Greek. We gonna hail to the Greek gods, right? So when you go and you join this sorority, you learning about all their gods, all the Greek gods, and you bowing down to them, and you getting hazed at the same time. And this is another thing that Alex DeCrawley said. They asked him in an interview, how can you get people to sell their soul to Satan and do the whole ritual and don't even know it? He said, through fraternities. So now remember, a black man or a black woman or a Mexican man or a Mexican woman with power, with knowledge, with understanding, getting education, can start a revolution. They don't want that to happen. Mostly all of the ministers that's in these mega churches is in the black boulet. They get pulled on their coattail if they start going too far. Oh, you trying to help too many black people, man. You better cut that out. We gonna cut you.
Come on back.
We gonna take you down. Oh, okay, master. I'm gonna stop doing that right now.
We sit
Because I don't want nothing that happens to me, master. Right? And you basically, now remember when you join for sororities and fraternities, they tell you to only think about your brothers and your sisters, and everybody else is secondary. You love them more than you love your own family. All doors are open up to you. Just like when Satan took Christ upon the mountaintop and said, I can give you all this. And he was like, how you going to give me something that already belonged to my father?
That part.
Right? So this is what the sororities and fraternity open up doors that you think can't be open. Okay, so now let's go to this. This is a Masonic book. And it's funny that we're talking about that right now.
Right.
Where's that book at? That book is great. Look, I'm proud.
No, that ain't over.
Where's that book at?
Not the backpack.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go right here. Let's see what this will say. We going to, we.
Freemason.
All right, here we go. The true name of Satan, the Kabbalists say,
Is it
is
up there?
that of Yahweh, reversed.
Albert Pike.
The true name of Satan, the Kabbalists say, is that of Yahweh, reversed.
Do y'all hear this?
Oh, wait.
The YHWH reversed. They say it's the name of Satan. And when we read Hebrew, we read it backwards anyway. Like, come on, man. I can't bend down and pray that. I just can't do it. I can't use that in my prayers. It's just not gonna happen. He exists. He will be. He is the be. Everything. That's what I'm gonna pray to. Right? I'm praying to Ahayah. So this is a lesson about us being able to show and prove while we call on Ahayah. We just ain't just saying, yeah, we're gonna call on Ahayah and we ain't sit up here and we ain't study nothing.
Come on.
Man, we even got more books and more information. It just goes on and on and on.
Bring it on.
And the stuff that we are talking about right now it's like you can't even get out of this. You just gotta humble yourself. More than half of the children of Israel all over the world is using the tetragrammaton to this day.
Sad.
But I'm gonna tell you this: it's a lot of people calling on Ahayah. We got GOCC as one of them. We got people over in Africa calling on Ahayah. I done met a couple of groups, never knew nothing about GOCC, and they said his name is Ahayah. I done met people from Ghana, and I said, hey, let me ask you a question. I said, what's the Most High name over there? He said, Ahayah, just clear as day. I said, wow. Or they call him, they had another name for him. I can't remember what it was, but he actually said Ahayah. Matter of fact, we had him on the radio show. Remember, Elder? Remember we was doing a radio show back in the day? Yeah. And then we called the dude in. It was a dude and a lady that came in from Africa. And both of them said his name was Ahayah. You know what I'm saying? So we bringing out these facts. We putting it out there. This is why we call on Ahayah. We ain't messing with no. We call on Ahayah over here. Now, if you continue to want to keep using it, okay, that's fine. But over here, when we get on our knees and we praise the Most High, we call it on Ahayah. Now, when I be around people, I don't just. You know how people, when they use the tetragrammaton, every 2 minutes they just be saying the Most High name, saying the Most High name. I mean, every 2 minutes I be like, dang, dude. Like, his name is sacred to me. Right? Ahayah is sacred to me. So if you don't believe that his name is Ahayah, I ain't gonna even say it around you. I just say the Most High. Unless I gotta pray for you or pray for all of us or something, then I'm going in. But my whole thing is I don't push Ahayah on everybody. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you want this, then I'll give it to you. But if you want to just, keep doing what you do, it's free will. Pray. I got so much faith in the Most High right now. Remember how in the Bible, I think that was Elijah was going against somebody and they had to build a shrine. So the fire would come down upon the shrine to prove who was worshiping the right God. I got enough faith to do that. To show y'all that this is his name without a reasonable doubt. The Most High did a lot of miracles for me since I've been in the truth, as calling on Ahayah by Hashem Yeshaya or Yeshai. And some people say Yasha, right? Okay, so I'm going to just give a couple of testimonies, and these are all real. There was a girl who was in a wheelchair, right? And she had got baptized, and they was telling me that, sister just got baptized in a wheelchair. I'm like, what? I was like, man, that's beautiful. And they was like, yeah, we carried her in, baptized her and all that. I said, man, that's what's up. And then they was like, so I wanted to meet her when I got there because I was in another state. So when I get there, she happened to be in a car that picked me up. And I was like, hey, since you the one got baptized? Yeah. And I was like, so how you feeling since you've been baptized? She said, I feel good. I've been having dreams that I'm going to walk. And she said that in my dream, you prayed for me and I walked. She said, so can you pray for me right now so I can walk? I was like, whoa. I was like, dang, do I got enough faith for this? I'm going to have to. And so now where I was going was some brothers that we kind of had like a little beef because they was trying to flee the country and all that. And so I was, going in on them. So where I'm going at, they expected me to preach over there because we just made up. They were like, all right, Malak, we want you to preach. You know what I'm saying? So I get out there and we street preaching. And they gave me the mic and I just started, I couldn't even talk. And they was like, dang, Malak choked on the mic. Right? And it wasn't that. It was just all I kept hearing. The Most High said, you better go pray for that girl. You better go pray for that girl. And I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous at first. Because it was so many people out there, so many Hebrews and everything. And I was just like, you know what, devil? I'm gonna rebuke you right now. And I'm gonna go and do what I gotta do. So I said, hey, I'm gonna go pray for this sister right now so she can walk. I said, everybody that believes has been baptized, stand over here with me. Everybody who don't, stay over there. Right? So a couple of dudes came. One dude came. I said, you been baptized up? He said, nah. I said, get back over there. So we go over. We start praying for her. Start rubbing on her legs. I said, in the name of Ahayah, by Hashem Yeshaya, walk. We raised her up out the chair and she started walking in front of everybody. Walking. And everybody was like, wow, we ain't never seen nothing like this, right? And so then the girl goes home and her legs moving by herself. She's standing up when she didn't even know she was standing up. So she calls me like, Malak, can you turn it off? And I'm like, sis, the Most High healing you right now. And she was like, no, I don't want to walk. Tell him to turn it off. I want to stay in the wheelchair. I'm like, sis, don't be saying that. I said, because if you keep saying that you don't want it, then he gonna turn it off for real. And surely enough, she kept on saying she didn't want it. He turned it off. But her legs was moving. She was walking and standing up by herself and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so it was another time. It was a girl who she was a nurse and she was dealing with this guy. And they said, you know what? He's gonna die. There's nothing else we can do for him. So she called me up crying. And then so she was like, yeah, Malak, I've been taking care of this guy, and then now they say he's gonna die. I don't know what to do. And she said his mother had a dream that it was a brother that was in his 30s that was going to have enough faith to wake him up. And I said, yeah, that's probably Christ. But then as soon as I said that, I heard a voice in my head saying, no, it's you. And I said, whoa. I said, okay, sis. I said, how much faith do you got? She said, I got a gang of faith. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fast for 3 days, and we're going to pray every night together. On that third day, we're going to go in there, and we're going to wake homeboy up out this coma. So third day come, I'm nervous. I'm like, Father, this got to happen. And I know you're going to make this happen. And I said, you know what? I believe you're going to make this happen. So I went on Facebook. I told everybody. I called my mama, my brothers, my sister. I was like, Father, the reason why I did that, if it's not going to happen, I'm going to be a false prophet. But I know it's going to happen. So this is why I told everybody, right? So I go to the beach. I'm sitting up there just like resting at the beach and praying and stuff before I did it. And when I prayed, man, that dude woke up out the coma. It's good right now. I don't know how good he is right now to this day, but he woke up out the coma. It was great. Got up out the bed, went home with his mother. His mother was blown away. Said, thank you for praying for my son. My dream came true. Like all of this stuff in the name of Ahayah. I'm just letting you know. Letting you know. All praise. We didn't pray. Y'all is a witness to this one. We didn't pray for people who had cancer. Right? In the name of Ahayah. I said, sis, go back and talk to the doctor before, tell them to check one more time. They went and checked one more time. What happened, young?
No sign of cancer.
Cancer was gone. So I'm just letting y'all know. Now, I know we bringing out a lot of information, but I'm putting my faith. They said if you want to have somebody with faith, then let you see his works. And so I'm letting y'all know through the works of me being a Hebrew Israelite, calling on the name that I call on, I didn't see the works through the Most High, period. So we're gonna break it down right there. We got a lot more, but we can do a part 2, a part 3, because with all of the information that we got going on, you know what I'm saying, it could be a part 10. With angels around it. So all praise to the Most High.
You got a lot of viewers on. You got a lot of viewers.
Yep. All right, so we're going to end it right there. All praise to the Most High. Anybody got any questions?
All praise. All right.
Go ahead, sis.
I would like to have a church to pray for me because this one is before, you know, you don't have fear when you're graduating. And I worked at schools, so I always felt I was strong. I took care of everything. But now that I'm where I'm staying in, all of a sudden I'm having this fear. I'm not afraid, but it's like I'm uncomfortable.
You uncomfortable with what?
It's like I'm in a building, but it's more, I'm like the only female in this building. I'm a veteran.
Okay.
So I'm not afraid. It's what I feel uncomfortable because, you know, they at you. And so I back it off. And like I said, I talk to you, but I want prayer so I can be strong and not in my awokenness let my intimidating, you know what I'm saying, make me feel uncomfortable. I don't want, even if I know I'm woke and people around me may or may not know, I don't want to feel uncomfortable around them. I want to have the same strength. You know, like when you're in the streets and you're wicked, you have the strength or whatever. So when you wake up, you get awoken, but then you're like, oh, who know I'm woke? You know, it's that. And I think that's what I'm having to struggle with right now.
Okay.
Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
Your light is shining. You need to embrace it. Okay. If they know you're woke, if they see it, it's your light. Because it is a light. Okay. And it's your walk. You have to embrace it. You gotta have that faith that the Most High is gonna protect you. Yeah. We can pray all.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting too angry sometimes. I be doing the, you know, and I'm like, I don't have the power to do that because I don't. It's me. I'm a female. I know I can't battle some things, but I can battle in prayer and in my walk.
Yeah, we definitely gonna pray for you as a congregation, but at the same time, you gotta have your defenses up as well. So, you know, when you a single woman and you walking around, that's the Most High giving you your defenses to keep your eyes open to everything that's going on. So I don't want you to think that that's such a bad thing. You know, you don't walk in fear, but you be aware of what your surroundings are. You know what I'm saying? So that's a normal feeling. That's how you're supposed to feel. You walking through a gang of men and they, you know, like, ooh, I want that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable.
It's like,
Yeah. So.
You don't know how to say it because people are like, oh, but I just want to, because those are the things that I struggle with. Like today, I was like, I'm getting here because I'm going to break there. I want the Most High to keep me strong, to keep breaking down those walls that make me feel like I'm not changed.
Well, see, the thing is, sis, when we come into the truth, that is our battle. The battle is changing. And it's not a battle with anybody else. It's a battle with you versus you. You know what I'm saying? And your flesh don't want to change. You want to stay the same. So it's a battle between the flesh and the spirit. So you fighting the flesh right now. Like, oh man, I don't want to go to the Sabbath. I'm tired. You know, I want to just sit at home. I want to do this. It's going to try to get you to do all kind of stuff, but be here. But the Most High wants you to be here, right? And you got to fight through it. And you got to commit to everything the Most High told you to do. Whatever he told you to do, commit to it. Nothing can change the commitment. If he says that he don't want you to do this, you don't do it. He say don't touch this, don't touch it. He say don't go there, you don't go there. You show that you love the Most High by what?
Action.
Keeping his commandments. Whatever, that's how you let him know that you love him. It ain't saying it. Because a lot of people say they love him and don't. He wants you to prove it. Right? So that's what your spiritual battle is right now. It's between the flesh and the spirit. And it's normal. You just came into the truth. Right? And the flesh is trying to rebel against the Most High. Oh, I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to do that. Oh, this happened, that happened. You ain't got to worry about that. You just got to stay focused. And everything you can't fix, you just tell him to fix it for you. Yeah. Any other questions? Nobody?
Any questions on Facebook? Any questions on Facebook? Type them out.
All right. So, I guess if there is nothing else, and I thought this lesson was going to be super long. Yeah, I was like, I had to cut it short because I was like, dang, dude, I got way too many pages.
Bring some more out.
Yeah, it's all of the rest of the stuff I got to study on it to bring it up.
All
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Part
I mean,
two,
we still,
baby.
man, y'all see how many books and stuff we got around here, dude, that's proving that the most, man, they using that name in so many satanic stuff, man. It's no way that could be the Most High name.
Right.
I can't wait.
What did the book Illuminati 2 say? Let's do it.
His name was
His
Ahayah.
name is Ahayah.
And what else?
They call on YHWH.
On purpose in the book.
Yeah, they inserted the name YHWH into the Bible. This them telling you what happened. You know what I'm saying? People can believe it or not, but I ain't bowed down to that. I can't do it. I don't think that's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I'm just putting it out there. If y'all think that, then more power to you. But Ahayah, who I'm about to call on. All right, so no other questions. We're going to end it right there. Shalom, Facebooks.
Shalom, everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed the lesson. All praises to the Most High. See y'all next week. Shalom.